Very hearty good morning to all my dear students. Welcome to GC Tech Hub CS tutorials. As we are meeting after a very long time, so here in today's class, we are going to take our discussion a little further from where we had stopped in the last class. Students, you can already see on the screen, this is a program which we had created in the previous class, a program to define a function to accept a number and return the sum of its three multiples. So this program we had created in the last class, and in this program you can see that we have to return the function needs to return a value. It needs to accept a value as well as return a value. So we had already done that very easily with the help of one argument which was passed. This was the argument which was passed. And here this was the value returned by the function. So argument is passed and value is returned by the function in case of this program. And in this program, the function had to calculate the sum of three multiples of the passed number. We had already done that, and here we had returned the value to this place, that is to S, and S was printed on the screen. So now in today's class, what we are going to do is we'll take our discussion a little further. We'll modify the above function to not return any value, rather print the sum. So we will be printing the sum now. That is, the function will not return any value. But they have not said anything about whether the value can be passed or not. So we assume that the value will be passed, but no value will be returned from the function. So let us do this program in Python. So this was the program which was used to return the value. So already the function is there, already the function is created. So how can we make changes in this function? Students, this can be taken up as a very important conceptual question. These are the application based thoughts where you need to apply the concept in solving a problem. So the code is already given to you. All you have to do is you have to modify this code such that the function does not return the value. So when I say function does not return the value, it means that the function will itself print the value within its function body itself, right? So this statement will be changed. That is, now we will not have this statement where the return value from the function is saved in a variable or assigned to a variable. Rather, this assignment statement will be gone because we know that those functions which do not return any value, they are called as standalone statements. And this statement which we had written, which is displaying the sum of first three multiples of a number, we will just use Control X to cut it from here, and we'll go to the function definition here, and you can see this return X. So instead of return X, I'm going to simply paste this print statement. Now this print statement, we need to review this a little bit. Sum of first three multiples of the number. Now num was a number which was asked within main, that is within the global area. But now because we have shifted the statement to the function body, so here you can see that there is a value x. And x is the value which stores the sum of the multiples, because originally this function was supposed to return x as the sum of multiples of n. Now it is not returning any value, so we will remove the docstring. And now within this, we are going to replace these values. That is, in place of num, we will be replacing it with value n. that is this value, this n value, which is passed by the main function, that is the main area over here. Num is passed, num is accepted within n, and we use n for finding out the sum of the three multiples. So we will write sum of first three multiples of n is equal to not s but x. So s was a value which was taken when it was in main, because we know that all the intermediate variables declared within any function or even its parameter, they all belong to the function locally. That is, they are the local variables within the function, right? So now that we cannot use any of the local variables within main, so we cannot use any of the variables within main within this function. So we are going to make use of these, that is sum of first three multiples of n will be equal to x. So the first sum of first three multiples of n is calculated as well as displayed within this function itself. Now if I run the program, everything will be the same, that is the output is the same as before. What changes is the programmer's view. So students, this is the program for printing the first three multiples of n. Our next program is write a function to accept the length of a side of a square and return its area. Hint is given, area of a square is calculated as side square, that is side raised to the power square 2. So how are we going to do this? Now this is a very simple program. We have already done this program by learning simple programming in class 11. Only difference is here we will be seeing this as a function. So we start with defining the function first, def. Name of the function is a user defined identifier, so we will give any name to it like square or area of square. So I've just given a name to it, and this function has to accept a length of the side of a square. So let us take this as side, and what it returns is its area, and the formula is also given, that is side square, which we already know. So we will simply write return side into side, or we can also write alternatively side raised to the power 2. It's up to us. So once this is done, we come to the main area, and within the main area we are going to simply ask for the side from the user. So I am writing a equals, or instead of int we can take float value, because user can enter any real number also and an integer also. So enter the length of a side of a square. So the side of a square will be asked within a, and we have to call the function area of square to calculate the area of the square, and this function returns a value. So when we call the function, we will be passing a to the function. A is the side of the square which will be accepted by the parameter, formal parameter side. So a is the actual parameter and side is the formal parameter over here. And because there is a return statement, a value will be returned from the function. So that value has to be accepted by a variable within the main area. So let me give that variable as as, or I'll just write sq underscore area. So I've taken the variable as sq, that is square area of a square. And now I'm going to print this value, area of square is equal to sq underscore area. right? So this is done. Let us understand the memory map. So you can see over here we have the main area and the local area. The local area is the area within the memory which is only confined, where within which all variables which are declared within the function, they are declared over here. And these two areas, I mean, like any variable which is defined within the main area cannot communicate directly with any of the variables which are defined within the local area. So now, because here side is a parameter, so side is taken as a local variable over here, and we had taken a which actually accepts a value from the user, suppose 2, and this is the value which is also passed to this function. Hence side also points to 2 now. Now the next thing is over here. So first of all, a is asked from the user, so we have done that. We have also passed the value to the function, that is a's value will be passed to side, and then the statement will be returned, that is first side into side will be calculated, that is 2 multiplied by 2 which is equal to 4, and this 4 is contained within this area somewhere, and it is an unnamed region, and this has to be returned back to the main area, and within the main area also it has to be returned back to this variable sq area. So here we have sq underscore area, and because this value is returned over here, so sq area now points to this 4. So we saw that value is being passed to the function and returned from the function. So students, I hope you understood this program. That is a program which takes values from the user. Okay, so let us run the program and see what output we get for this. Enter the length of the side of a square, so I am entering any value over here like 2.3, and we get the area of the square in points. So to the person who is using the program, nothing would be quite visible to that person, that how the program has been written, right? So what we are doing is, only thing, we are creating a function and we are returning the value from the function. Now this utility you will understand only when you write large programs where some statements are repeated multiple times. So those statements which are repeated again and again, you can place them in a function and you can call them as and when they are required. So students, there are some questions based on this. I hope that you will be able to now write the programs which contain functions which accept an argument and return a value. So please, if you understand, if you have watched this video till here, please solve those questions also. Write the program, code the program in your Python idle and check for the expected output and write them in your self-study register. So that's all in today's class, students, today's offline video. In the next online lecture, we will be taking up the next topic in function. So thank you all. See you all again in the next class.